Homies, homies, homies. How are we doing tonight? Sometimes it's not easy figuring out kind of how to meditate as far as what works for you. Me, I sharpen this straight razor every night, but I only keep it at home because I don't have a sheath for it, right? So I haven't been using it when I travel. So I decided I was gonna make a sheath for it. I'm just sitting here stropping it. This is just a leather strop with some stropping compound on there. I got videos on how to use them, how to make them, all kinds of stuff. But when I'm doing this at night, I'm not thinking about how to save the planet. All I'm thinking about is trying not to lose the edge on the knife that I never use. I never use this. Look at me, I have a beard. I don't use a straight razor. But it's how I kind of release as far as not think about things that maybe I need to think about or think that I should be thinking about. Because we also need some downtime as well. So I'll sit here and just drop this knife back and forth. Man, she got a good edge on her. So I was thinking to myself, I need to make myself a sheath. So I sat down tonight and I made a sheath for it. I'll put it right in here. Close her up. I sat down with a couple pieces of leather and some beads, and I made that in a couple hours. So now I got a little sheath for my straight razor. I'm gonna make like a little kind of loop-de-loop thing, just like in case you want to tie it to a pack or this or that. Came out looking great, huh? Some really cool beadwork on there. It's from a bracelet that was given to me by a little girl who thinks the world of me. And she got this from her tribal relatives in Colombia. She's Colombian. I am gonna put a couple of buttons. See how that flap kind of open? I'm putting 2 buttons right here and right here. So it'll end up looking really sweet. But, people don't make things right anymore, it's triple stitched. This is gonna last for generations. And we don't make things that'll last generations anymore, and maybe it's because we're not thinking about the next generations, but I can't help but to think of my little grandson James and give this to him when he's older one day. He'd sure appreciate those triple stitches and the craftsmanship that I put into it. Even though it's a knife that I don't ever plan on using. Because all I do is just sit here and sharpen it, even though it don't need sharpen. But to me, every swipe that I make on it, it's like I'm cutting away at a little bit of pain from the past. A little bit more pain than I'm able to let go of. And a little bit more scars than I'm letting go of. Sometimes scars are the only memories that we have left of certain places, people, or things, And I reckon that's why it's so hard for me to let go of some of them, even though each day I try to become a better man than I was the day before. Each swipe I take on that strop, I'm letting another piece go. So by the time I give this knife away, it'll be a peaceful knife and it'll surely hold its edge. Even though it won't ever cut anything, I will have put so much thought and time and peace back into this knife as it helps me cut away at my pain. To me, being a man is about being aware of everything that you touch. I don't know what it's like to be a woman, so that's why I'm saying to me what it is to be a man, because I have no idea what it means to be a woman. I'm not gonna pretend that I do. But for me, in my opinion, just opinion, To me, being a man is about being aware of everything that you touch, the people, the places, the things, and being aware of the impact that your touch has and the impact of energy that you're leaving behind. Is that something good that you're leaving behind, or is it something shit? You know, you're gonna leave your grandson some shit sheath that you got on Amazon.com? Or are you gonna sit down for a couple hours and put some work into it and make sure you give him something that he really remembers you by? He'll have more than just a damn old razor and a sheath. But still, man, I'd be tickled to death if someone gave that to me. And that's why I took the time to make this for myself. You know, I rarely make the time to do things for myself like that, but I also knew that it wasn't for myself. You know, I knew that I'll give this knife away when I'm done with it, when I'm done cutting at all that old pain. You know, it's from an older heart, not a heart that you guys know, as far as the man sitting in front of this camera. I haven't always been this guy, you know, and I hope to God I'm not, you know, I'm always getting better. The minute that we think of ourselves as knowing it all is the minute that we stop learning and our education ceases to exist anymore. You know, so I hope that day never comes. I hope that I always take the time into doing something right, doing it the way that it used to be done. You know, it's been a long time since we've made things that'll last for several generations. Hell, we make houses that only last 20 years. But I go to cabins built in the 1800s that have less things wrong with it than the houses built in 1990. We've got no craftsmanship. There's no pride in the product anymore. You know, so I'm happy the way that turned out, and I'm happy that I incorporated that girl's bracelet that she gave me, because it turned out really cool as far as the beadwork on it. But sometimes it's just worth taking the time to do the extra. Sometimes it's just worth sitting down every single night and getting out your straight razor and your leather strop, making sure you're keeping a good edge on that knife. You know, and now I will actually have an ability to take this knife with me when I travel, because I made the time to make me a good sheath. Love it. Love it. I'll tell you the truth. Here's the sheath that the darn knife came with long ago. But the sheath is absolute crap. And I don't like crappy things in my life. And I knew if I took the time to sit there and make a sheath, then I would take the time to remember my straight razor when I travel, so that I can do this at my girl's house or anywhere that I'm at. That way I can kind of get my daily meditation in. You know, I've tried to read multiple books on Buddhist meditation, Satipatthana Buddhist meditation, all kinds of stuff. And man, I don't know, maybe I'm just not hippie enough to get it, you know. But I can't just sit there and think about nothing, you know. Because when I sit and meditate, like, I'm thinking about everything. It's like the opposite of what I'm supposed to be doing, but I can't help myself, you know, and I know that. But me trying to start doing this more and more is like my way of like trying to meditate more and more, you know, because, you know, if you know anything about Zen meditation and like different things where you concentrate on like an object, a statue, or straight razor strop in it, I don't know. To me, it doesn't get any more peaceful than that, as far as just trying not to screw up your knife. It's already got a perfect edge on it. So if I do a poor job stropping it, it'll have a worse edge on it, and I can't have that as a man, right? So don't hesitate to do something different if it works for you. Maybe I'll tell you guys next time about my me vids, so I know I'm gonna have bad days, right? So that's why on my good days, I make myself me vids, what I call me vids. I just made it up one day. What I do is I have an album in my phone, a photo album called me vids. And it's, when I'm feeling awesome, I will take the time to make myself a video. Like instead of a journal, like it's a video, and I'll call myself Future Dude. And usually the videos will be like, hey, what's up, Future Dude? It's me, you. And I laugh real loud because it's always funny. and I tell Future Dude, like who I'm not yet, but I'm gonna be. I tell him what a great freaking day we've had, and how we installed all these reefs, or we taught these kids, or I did this or that. And that way, when I do have a bad day and I'm needing a little help, I can count on After Dude, the Before Dude, and I can count on my past self to cheer up my present self, because I'm always thinking about Future Dude these days, where, mostly I spent my whole life chasing the past instead of trying to control a little bit of the future. The mindset, the difference between that mindset is absolutely incredible as far as the level of happiness that you can have in your life. So maybe this video is weird. Maybe some of you liked it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, I guess. Stay groovy.